So this video is for integrated 2. This is on the chapter 4, math analysis, homework number 1. I added on here a unit circle just kind of as a reference. And I'm just going to kind of run through this real quick just to make sure everyone understands where things are on the unit circle. So as I go around the unit circle, this is going to be 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, 360 degrees. When I'm going backwards, then what's going to happen is this is going to be negative 90 degrees. This is going to be negative 180 degrees. This is going to be negative 270 degrees. That's 7 better. And this is going to be negative 360 degrees. And again, we started at 0. So we want to understand this. Also, we need to understand that this is considered quadrant 1. This is considered quadrant 2. This is considered quadrant 3. And this is considered quadrant 4. So when we are trying to do these problems, I'm going to just reference this unit circle. Okay. So on the first one, when we are doing this, let's get a highlight. This one is going to be right here in quadrant 2 because we are going this direction. Okay. And we're going this direction between 0 and 180. That's where I'm going to be. So this is going to be quadrant 2. Now, in the next one, I am again going around. Get rid of this. Hold on. I am still going around, and I'm going to be going around to 285 degrees. So I'm going around. This is going to be 180. This is going to be 270. So I'm going to be in this quadrant. I'm going to be in quadrant 4. So my answer is quadrant 4. For the next one, we're going to obviously be in quadrant 1 because that's between 0 and 90 degrees. For 340 degrees, we are going to be going again all the way around here. Once I get to here, this is 270. When I get here, this is going to be going to 360. I'm going to be in this quadrant. I'm going to be in quadrant 4. Negative 360, sorry, negative 32 degrees. So negative means I'm going this direction. So I'm going around this direction. This is going to be the negative 180. This is going to be, so hold on, I went too far, negative 180. So it's going to be between negative 90 and negative 180. It's going to be in quadrant 3. The next one is negative 260 degrees. So as I'm doing this and I'm going around negative 260 degrees, okay, I'm going around. That's going to be negative 180. This is between negative 180 and negative 270. So I'm going to be in between there. I'm going to be in quadrant 2. For negative 336, for negative 336, it's negative. I'm going around, that's negative 180. This is negative 270. So going to here would be negative 360. So I'm going to be in this quadrant, quadrant 1. for number 8, negative 34. So when I'm doing negative 34, that's going to be from here to here. Let me move this up, sorry. It's going to be from here to here because that's going to go from 0 to negative 90. So that's going to be in quadrant 4. And the last one, 275, okay, 275. So when I'm doing this, that is going to be negative 90, negative 180, I don't know why I'm saying negative. Let me start again. Positive 90, positive 180, positive 270. So it's going to be in this quadrant, quadrant 4. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to be looking at, oops, I'll move this. We're going to be looking here, okay. Let me just get rid of this. So for these ones, we're trying to get to draw an angle in standard notation, in standard position. Standard position means that we are going to be starting on the x-axis, the positive x-axis. And if it's a positive angle, we're going this direction. If it's a negative angle, we're going this direction. So when we're doing this, just a reminder, these are going to be, let me get a smaller font here, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees, okay, just a little reminder. So in this case, when I'm trying to draw in 30 degrees, it's going to look like this. And when I do that, I'm going to also want to show the direction it's going. It's going like that. On 150 degrees, again, I'm starting here. I need to be less than 180 degrees, okay? 180 degrees is right here. This is 180 degrees. I want to be less than that. So, and I want to be 30 degrees less than that. So 30 degrees less than that is going to be here. So I am going to be going to this point, and the direction is going to be like this. That is the angle. Okay, on negative 270, okay, again, we're going to start with it being on the x-axis, positive, and we're going to be going around the unit circle. We're going to be going around this direction. So that's going to be 90, negative 180 to here is going to be negative 270. So we're actually going to be looking like it's a 90-degree angle, but remember, we're going this direction. That's the movement we did. Negative 120. So we're going to start here. Let me use the same color. We're going to start here, and we're going to be going negative 120. So as I'm going around negative this way, this is negative 90. This is going to be 30 degrees more. So that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be right here. And the direction I went was this. Now for 405, I'm going around the unit circle more than once. So if I take 405, and let me make this a little bigger here. Okay, so if I take 405 and I subtract 365 from it, 365, wow, I'm thinking days of the year. okay, take 405 and I subtract 360 from it, 360 degrees. I get 45. So this is going to be at 45 degrees. So 45 degrees. So I'm going to start here. This middle one is 45 degrees. Now, we did not go from here to here. We went around 360 degrees and then to here. Negative 600 degrees. So I'm going to take negative 600 degrees. I'm going to add 360 onto it to try to get between, this is at least between 0 and negative 360. Okay, so that's negative 240. So I'm going to be starting here and I'm going negative 90, negative 180. I need to go 60 more, which is going to put me right here. And so I'm going to be going to here now. Remember, this was not from here to here. I went here all the way around 360 because I subtracted 360 once from this. And then to here. Okay, on these ones, we want to get coterminal angles. So what that means is I want angles that are going to be in the same spot. So to find them, I'm going to add 360 and I'm going to subtract 360 until I get to a positive one or a negative one. So I'm going to start with 45 degrees. Let's say I add 360. So I take 45 plus 360 and I get 405 degrees. And let's say I take 45 minus 360. Okay, so I did 45 minus 360, and I ended up with a negative 315 degrees. Hold on. Over here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with a negative 360, add 360, start with a negative 360, subtract 360. So a negative 36 plus 360 is a positive 324 degrees. That's going to be my positive. A negative 36 minus 360 gave me a negative 396 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to start with 120. I'm going to add 360 degrees. I'm going to start with 120. I'm going to subtract 360 degrees. So when I do this, 120 plus 360 gives us 480 degrees. 120 minus 360 gives us a negative 240 degrees. Okay, my negative 420 degrees. I'm going to start by adding 360 degrees onto it. And when I take negative 420 and I add 360, I'm not going to get to a positive. Okay, I'm not going to get to a positive. I end up with a negative 60. So I actually found one of the negative ones. Okay. And so I'm going to use that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 360 one more time. So really what's happening is I added 360 once and that got me that negative 60. I'm going to add 360 again. And so when I add 360 again, I get 300 degrees. So this is going to be equal to 300 degrees. Okay. On this next section, we're going to be doing complement and supplement, which means we're going to be trying to add to 180 for the supplement and add to 90 for the complement. Okay. So on this first one, basically I'm taking 90 minus 3, which is going to be 87 degrees. I'm taking 180 minus 3, which is going to be 177 degrees. For 64, I'm going to take 90 minus 64, And 90 minus 64 gave us 26 degrees. And I'm going to take 180 minus 64. And 180 minus 64 gave us 116 degrees. For 130, 130 is more than 90. So none. Because 130 is greater than 90 degrees. So you're not going to get one. Now my supplement is going to be 180 minus 130, which is going to be 50 degrees. Over here, again, this is going to be more than 90 degrees. So this is going to be none. And again, 170 degrees is greater than 90 degrees. That's why. Then I'm going to take 180 minus 170, and I'm going to get 10 degrees. Okay, these next sections, we're going to be changing from degree, minutes, seconds to degree, like a decimal degree, or we're going to be on the next section going from degree to degree, minute, second. So what we need to remember is the following, that 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds, which means 1 degree is going to be equal to 60 minutes with 60 seconds, which is going to be 3,600 seconds. So I'm going to be starting us off by using the idea of a big 1 at first for these. So that's from integrated 1. So 240 degrees is going to add with 10 minutes. I'm going to try to change my 10 minutes into degrees. So what I know is this. I know that 1 degree is the same as 60 minutes. So I'm going to put my 60 minutes on the bottom and my 1 degree. The reason I'm doing that is from integrated 1, we saw that when we are trying to convert, you can make big ones. 1 degree and 60 minutes really is equivalent. So it's like a fancy 1. But you want to have the 60 minutes on bottom so that the units of minutes are going to cancel out and you're going to be left with degrees. Now, what am I basically doing? I'm basically going to be taking 245 and I'm going to add it with 10 divided by 60 because I'm converting those minutes into degrees. So when I do this in my calculator, I'm going to take 245 plus 10 divided by 60. And I end up with 245.16 repeating degrees. For number 25, I'm going to have 85 degrees plus 18 minutes. And to convert minutes, I'm going to start with 60 minutes on bottom, 1 degree on top, plus I'm going to change my 30 seconds. And again, I'm trying to change it to degrees. So I'm going to have 1 degree, and 1 degree is the same as 3,600 seconds. Now, what I'm going to type in my calculator, I'm going to type into my calculator. I'm going to smooth this up a little bit. I'm going to type into my calculator 85 plus 18 divided by 60 plus 30 divided by 3600. And that is going to give me 85.3083 repeating degrees. Okay, the next ones are going to be negative. So you can either write it where these are all minuses, okay, or I'm just going to put the negative in front, and I'm going to have a 135 degrees plus, you want to be careful, this is 36 seconds. So I'm going to have 36 seconds times 1 degree is equivalent to 3,600 seconds. So I'm going to put that in my calculator, and I just know the answer is going to be negative. So let me just stick my negative there. I better 1.35 point something, right? So 135 plus 36 divided by 3600, I end up with negative 135.01 degrees. For the next one, again, I'm going to have my negative out front. 408 degrees plus 16 minutes. And remember to convert minutes. 1 degree is the same as 60 minutes plus 20 seconds. And 1 degree is the same as 3,600 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to put this into my calculator and I'm going to get a negative. So 408 plus 16 divided by 60 plus 20 divided by 3600. And I end up with a negative 408.272 repeating degrees. Okay, so now we're going to go the other direction. So I'm going to change this degrees to degree minute seconds. So what I'm going to do is I know I'm going to have 240 degrees. Okay, I'm going to have that. And this 0.6, it's really still in degree form. And to change that from degree into minutes, and then I convert to seconds, depending on what happens, I'm going to times this by, now this case, I have a degree and I want to get rid of the degree. So I'm going to put my 1 degree on bottom, and 1 degree is the same as 60 minutes. So let me go 200. Actually, I don't need to do the 240 because I know I'm going to have 240 degrees plus something. I need my 0.6 times 60 basically. And I end up with 24 degrees. I don't need the plus anymore. 36 minutes, done. Don't have any seconds because this was an even amount of minutes. I didn't have a decimal amount of minutes. Okay, on the next one, again, put that negative out front. So I'm going to have 340 degrees plus I'm going to have 0.2 degrees, which I'm going to change first to minutes. So again, I'm going to have 1 degree on bottom, 60 minutes on top. So that 0.12 times 60 gave me 7.2. So I did not get a whole number. So that means I'm going to have 340 degrees, plus I'm going to have 7 whole minutes, plus I have 0.2 minutes, because I still have that as a decimal. And I'm going to times that by, I'm going to change 1 minute into seconds. So 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Now my final answer is going to be negative 345 degrees, 7 minutes. And now I'm trying to figure out my seconds. So I'm going to take 0.2 times 60 and I get 12 seconds. And that's my answer. Now on this next one, again, I have a negative 3 degrees plus I have part of a minute. Okay, so 0.58, part of a degree. So I have 0.58 degrees. I'm going to change that first to minutes. So 1 degree is the same as 60 minutes. So let's see what I get when I do that. So I know I'm going to have 3 degrees for sure. Let me figure out my minutes. So 0.58 times 60 is 34.8. So what that means is I have a whole 34 minutes. And then I have a part of a minute. I have 0.8 minutes. And I'm going to change that 0.8 into seconds. So 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. So now I'm going to get 3 degrees, 34 minutes, and let's see, 0.8 times 60 gives me 48 seconds. So I get 48, seconds. Okay, last one. Okay. So on this one, I don't even have a whole degree. Okay, so I'm going to have 0 degrees. Plus, I have 0.7865 degrees because that's part of a degree. I'm going to change it first to minutes. Okay, so I know that 1 degree is the same as 60 minutes. And let's see, when I take 0.7865, I end up, times 60, I end up with 47.19. So I have 0 degrees, plus I have 47 minutes, and then I also have 0.19 minutes. And I'm going to change that part of minutes into seconds. So I know 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. So I'm going to get 0 degrees. I'm going to get 47 minutes. And when I take 0.19 times 60, I end up with 11.4 seconds. I don't take that decimal and break that down further. And that's going to be my final answer. So hopefully this helps anyone who is having a little difficulty with this assignment.